How safe is your digital world? Is it a utopia of convenience or a battlefield of cyber threats? Welcome to the unfolding reality of our times, where the digital landscape is increasingly becoming a complex web, teeming with both opportunities and threats. The world has come a long way from the time when cyber threats were merely about rogue hackers trying to create chaos. Today, cybercriminals are leveraging the power of artificial intelligence, making cyber attacks more sophisticated and harder to detect. The battlefield has shifted and the weapons have evolved. In the heart of this digital battlefield, one of the emerging threats is the use of large language models, or LLMs. These AI-driven tools designed to understand and generate human-like text are being weaponized for malicious intent. Imagine a tool that can write convincing emails or messages impersonating a trusted contact or a known organization. Now imagine it in the hands of a cybercriminal. Frightening, isn't it? These malicious LLMs, such as WormGPT and FraudGPT, are not just figments of a dystopian imagination. They are real and are being used by hackers for activities like creating malware, launching phishing attacks, and deploying malicious chatbots. This new breed of cyber threats is not confined to the darker corners of the web. They are available for subscription fees, making them accessible to a wider pool of potential cybercriminals. As the digital world becomes more entwined with our everyday lives, the potential for damage increases exponentially. In this digital battlefield, understanding the enemy is the first step to fortifying our defenses. As we delve deeper into the world of malicious LLMs, we'll explore their anatomy, how they operate, and most importantly, how we can defend against them. So, gear up as we prepare to navigate through this complex terrain of cybersecurity. So, what exactly are these malicious LLMs, also known as WormGPT and FraudGPT? Imagine a computer program, a language model that's been trained on vast amounts of digital text. This is a large language model, or LLM. Its purpose? To generate human-like text based on the input it receives. But in the wrong hands, these LLMs can be manipulated and weaponized. Now let's take a journey into the shadows, the dark web. This is a place where cybercriminals lurk, trading in illicit goods and services. Among these, you'll find malicious LLMs like WormGPT and FraudGPT. These aren't your run-of-the-mill language models. No, these have been twisted and turned to serve a darker purpose. With subscription fees ranging from $200 a month to $1,700 annually, these tools are within reach of many cybercriminals. And what do they get for their money? Tools that can be used to create malware, orchestrate phishing attacks, and build malicious chatbots. Imagine receiving an email that appears to be from a trusted source, but it's not. It's a phishing email and it was written by a WormGPT. Or you're chatting with a customer service bot trying to resolve an issue with a product, but it's not a genuine bot. It's a FraudGPT and it's mining your conversation for personal information. These malicious LLMs can even be used to create personalized social engineering attacks. They learn from the data they process, and they get better with each interaction. They adapt, they evolve, and they become more effective. These malicious LLMs are the new faceless criminals of the digital world. They operate behind the scenes, silently gathering information and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But don't be fooled by their virtual nature. The damage they can cause is very real. Now that we've unmasked these digital villains, how do they carry out their nefarious deeds? Let's dive into the anatomy of an LLM attack. The first thing to understand is that LLM attacks are not random. They are meticulously planned and executed, often leveraging the power of artificial intelligence to craft highly personalized and sophisticated attacks. The malicious large language models, or LLMs, like WormGPT and FraudGPT, are programmed to learn and mimic human communication patterns. This makes them incredibly effective at social engineering, the art of manipulating individuals into divulging confidential information. Imagine a scenario where an LLM disguised as a trusted contact sends you an email. It's convincingly written, perfectly mimicking the style of your contact. It might even reference recent events or shared interests to build trust. The email may contain a seemingly harmless link or attachment, but once clicked, it deploys malware or other malicious payloads into your system. In other instances, the LLM might engage you in a chat, posing as customer support or a similar trusted entity. It will try to coax sensitive information from you like passwords or financial details, all the while maintaining the illusion of authenticity. These attacks can be highly targeted, focusing on individuals or organizations with valuable data or resources, but they can also be widespread, casting a wide net in the hopes of catching unsuspecting victims. The LLM attacks are not just limited to email or chat. They can also infiltrate other digital mediums like social media or even sophisticated AI platforms. As we've seen, even military-grade AI systems are not immune to these threats, with potential for grave consequences. The sophistication of these attacks makes them a formidable foe, but not an unbeatable one. How do you defend against an enemy that's constantly evolving and adapting? In the digital battlefield, the weapons of defense are as cutting-edge as the threats themselves. A key part in fortifying your digital defenses against malicious large language models, or LLMs, is embracing artificial intelligence. AI-powered security measures are no longer optional luxuries but necessary tools in the cybersecurity arsenal. One such tool is email security. With AI, the system can learn to spot the telltale signs of a phishing attack or a malicious bot at work. It becomes capable of filtering out suspicious content, shielding you from the insidious threats that might lurk in your inbox. Encryption is another crucial layer of defense. By scrambling your data into an unreadable format, encryption acts as a powerful deterrent against unauthorized access. It's like putting your data in a vault that only you have the key to. Data loss prevention tools, on the other hand, act as the watchful guardians of your information. They monitor and control data movement within your network, preventing sensitive information from falling into the wrong hands. Finally, there's network segmentation. Think of it as digital compartmentalization. By dividing your network into separate segments, you limit the potential spread of a breach. If one section gets compromised, the others remain secure, providing an effective containment strategy. But remember, the digital landscape is ever-changing. Today's state-of-the-art defenses could be tomorrow's obsolete technologies. It's essential to stay updated with the latest security measures, to evolve and adapt just as our digital adversaries do. In the face of these sophisticated attacks, staying vigilant and proactive is our best defense. What does the future hold for cybersecurity in this age of AI and LLMs? As we gaze into the crystal ball of the future, we find ourselves in an ever-evolving digital landscape marked by the rise of artificial intelligence and large language models. These technologies, while incredibly powerful, present a new frontier of cyber threats, particularly in the form of malicious LLMs. In the future, we can expect these threats to continue evolving, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. As AI and LLM technologies continue to advance, so too does the potential for their misuse. The rise of malicious LLMs like Worm GPT and Fraud GPT underscores this reality. These malicious models can create highly personalized social engineering attacks, capable of fooling even the most vigilant among us. But it's not all doom and gloom. The future of cybersecurity also promises a robust response to these threats. An essential part of this response will be continued research and innovation. As we've seen with companies like Trustify, AI-powered security measures like email security, encryption, data loss prevention, and network segmentation are already making strides in defending against these evolving cyber threats. Innovation alone, however, is not enough. Collaboration within the cybersecurity community will be critical. Sharing knowledge, insights, and best practices can help us stay one step ahead of the cybercriminals. The future will also necessitate a holistic approach to cybersecurity, one that encompasses not just technology but also policy, ethics, and education. Moreover, we can't overlook the role of individuals in this future. As we increasingly live and work in digital spaces, each one of us has a part to play in securing our digital world. This includes staying informed about the latest threats, understanding the basics of digital hygiene, and being vigilant in our online interactions. So as we peer into the future, we see a cybersecurity landscape that is complex, challenging, but not insurmountable. The key will be to stay agile, stay informed, and stay collaborative. As we continue to navigate the digital battlefield, remember, knowledge is power, and understanding our enemy is the first step to securing our digital